What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if we will get a third gameplay showcase for Hogwarts Legacy. We're almost there. I don't know necessarily the day this video goes up, but I think we're about 1 month away, almost to the day. There's going to be, many more Hogwarts Legacy videos. I'm going to be picking up the pace of almost a video a day, I would imagine. Lots to talk about, lots to get ready for before the game comes out. And of course, this is kind of why I wanted to put this rather early, right? Because we're almost there, so they're running out of time. It's actually insane to even say that out loud, that they're running out of time and we're almost at release. So maybe they can't actually show us certain things, but it seems to be where we are. So in my opinion, I think if you're going to do a gameplay showcase, now this could age very bad or actually very well, depending. I think next week would probably be the week to do it. I suppose this week as well. I just wanted to be a little different, a little spicy, and say next week instead. But I do think over this next couple weeks, because once you get, I would honestly say past next week, you are in danger territory, whatever you want to call it, of the game may be out there. Not just even in the hands of influencers and review people. And that could happen like the week after that, right? The final week of January that leads into February. It could happen that week is when they start to give codes out. Depends on how they actually do it. But also, you do have to be careful. Like, we haven't had a big release really since, let's say, probably God of War Ragnarok, right? That was the last, big stuff. There were games that came out after, but that was the last huge one. And if you guys saw last year, there were several instances where games got leaked early. And I guess actually part of the reason why games got leaked so early was because literally stores were just giving it out, right? A store gave out the God of War PS5 bundle to people instead of the Call of Duty one. And so people got God of War early. Like, it was nuts. And I don't know exactly how that would, how you'd make that mistake with Hogwarts, but it could happen. So, why am I saying all this? Well, when that happens, whenever that happens, I know that may not have anything to do with this, but it does. When that stuff starts to come out, the gameplay showcase really is not needed whatsoever. You know what I mean? If the things are going to be starting to leak online, you're very much in danger territory of people spoiling it for each other. Specifically, if you have a gameplay showcase where the focus is to not spoil things and to, kind of keep it contained in what they want to show. Now, you could say, well, they've already recorded it. That's true. It would actually be an unfortunate circumstance if they recorded this at the end of December with Retro Raconteur or whoever they did it with, and then at the end of January, they do the showcase, but it's kind of too late because the game is already getting leaked. But again, you imagine that they have a calendar and a plan. That's why I do think this week or next week makes the most sense, because you'd beat all that stuff. You wouldn't have to worry about codes being out in the public. I'd specifically say that too, because whenever you do that, you are also running the risk that somebody breaks embargo. Somebody also, like with God of War, right? There was the person that was a full-on journalist, full-on paid journalist that was uploading screenshots. When they took screenshots of God of War Ragnarok on the PS5, they forgot to unsync it with Twitter. So every time they took a screenshot of God of War 2 weeks early, the picture went up on Twitter. So you got to see some pretty revealing things in the game. So there's number one, there's some people that just don't pay any attention whatsoever. But number two, there's people that, want to spoil, want to leak it, that would do it on Reddit or whatever. So again, what does it have to do with it? Once you hit that point, you could still do Twitter posts and stuff, but once you hit that point, there's really no need to do anything else. It's kind of unnecessary in general because the game is out to some, and in a way would then be out for other people because you'd be able to find it out. So I've been saying, I don't think you're going to get a third one. That would be my prediction. I'd actually take the under, and I would say we're not going to get a third gameplay showcase. I know Chandler's words were a little odd. I definitely think it's possible. Like, again, don't get me wrong. I think it's definitely possible they do one. But the whole tip of the iceberg thing could just mean that there's so much more that they haven't shown that they're not going to show, until the game comes out. So we'll have to see, but this really is it. I can't imagine getting if we don't get a showcase this week or next week. Now, again, from when they announce it to when it happens, very close. So they can announce it today or tomorrow, and it could happen the next day, right? So it can happen very quickly. But if it doesn't happen this week or next week, I can't imagine it happens, because why even bother at that point? Because then we're in that tracking territory of, all right, who got the review code? All right, when does the review embargo lift? When can you post reviews? What do the reviews say? And then the game comes out. And again, the game coming out 3 days early for the early access moves everything. Like when I think about the game releasing, I think about February 7th. I actually don't think whatsoever about February 10th. And that's not dissing people that don't want to spend the extra money. That's totally fine. If you want to get it February 10th, that's fine. But February 7th is when the floodgates open, right? Not just when the floodgates open, but the reviews have to go live before that. So everything kind of gets not pushed, I guess they get pulled, right? Everything gets pulled forward because of those 3 days. So you lose those 3 days. And that does impact when they're going to send the codes out and all that stuff. So everything has to be moved upwards, and so you lose those days. So we'll see what happens. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you think that we'll get the third gameplay showcase, what would they show? Do they need to show anything? You all let me know. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I'll see you all on the next one.